nature gave us or the God gave us, whatever way you say. So they said, let us keep it pristine. Let's not make it like other six continents. So why pristine? Because it's the only continent in which we were unable to survive. So that is why they decided, okay, let's keep this as such. And definitely it is very, very important for our survival. So Antarctica, although it's a part of Earth, it's on planet Earth, but still, if I call it that it is unearthly, that means even in terms of the laws, some of the laws of nature, or otherwise, if you go to Antarctica. So it is unearthly. It's a vast ice-covered land where all the rules are, many, many rules are different. And some of those I'll just touch briefly and then you can ask questions. First of all, you see, whenever we say what is the area of a continent, we immediately have a figure in mind. So we say, what's the area of Asia? Well, just Google it, Wikipedia, you will find the area. But if you look at what is the area of Antarctica, then the area of Antarctica is 14.2 million squares. Plus, every year the area of Antarctica changes. So in winter, the area of Antarctica is 14.2 million square kilometers plus 19 million square kilometers. Because the ice around Antarctica freezes and you can run cars on it, you can run trucks on it, you can do convoys, whatever. So its size becomes 14.2 million square kilometers original size, that is permanent, plus 19 million square kilometers of additional size. In summer, that ice melts and the area is still 3 million square kilometers of area still stay frozen, which is as good as land. So when you hear about the Antarctica melting, it's the melting of just 3 million square kilometers, which is worrying the scientists. As I said, that the thickness of this is 900 meters. You can think of that 900 meters. It's not land, but it is as good as land. And the average winter temperature is minus 34, but the lowest temperature is minus 89.4. Minus 89.4 degrees Celsius. Nowhere else on Earth. And you would be surprised, you see, when we have some storms like, we say tornado or something, we talk about, 150 kilometers speed. And what's the highest speed that is observed in Antarctica? 327 kilometers. 327 kilometers an hour. And trust me, the moment the speed of wind goes beyond 150 square kilometers, you cannot even lie down on that. You will be just thrown away. And 327 kilometers, nothing can survive 327 kilometers per hour of speed. That's the extremes which Antarctica holds. And that's why we say the rules are different in Antarctica. The winds in Antarctica, they do not blow the same way as the winds blow in the other six continents by the temperature difference. There is a totally different phenomenon, how the winds blow. That's why in any other continent, you can never have a speed of 327 kilometers an hour. But in Antarctica, you can easily have 200 kilometers, 250, 300, 320. You can easily have that. So Antarctica, basically, you see, it's a paradise for myriad scientific disciplines, where everyone, you see, meteorologists, chemists, astronomers, meteorologists, everybody wants to visit Antarctica. Why they want to visit Antarctica? Because it is in whole of Antarctica is a natural laboratory for scientific research that cannot be done anywhere else on Earth. The picture here is a picture of the bird which is called skua, and they have so strong, you can say the time machines in them that they visit our station every year on a very particular day and they leave the station on a very particular day. It has never changed in the last 30 years. So skua, the pairs of skua would come visit the Indian station Maitri. First was DG, Dakshin Gangotri, then Maitri, now it is Bharati. So they come the very same day. So this is a picture, a real picture from our station, flying skua. So whole of Antarctica is a natural lab where the priority is only scientific research. What kind of scientific research? That cannot be done anywhere else. So we can say it's a unique place of study. To study what? To study everything. Mainly you see the atmosphere, mainly you see our climate, but to study the evolution of species, ocean atmosphere interaction, climate change, atmospheric chemistry of ozone, and all these things we cannot study anywhere else. And this Antarctica is at the center of life on Earth. No one lives there. But imagine that tomorrow, if we don't have Antarctica, imagine that we do a nasty thing, that we put a nuclear bomb, let us say a big nuclear bomb at the top of Antarctica, and we explode it. I think that the 3/4 of the continent, 3/4 of the planet would be gone, immediately gone. And even if, let us say, not about nuke, otherwise also, if the systems in Antarctica die, that means if we do the same that we have done to the other 6 continents, we would have catastrophic effects. I'm not talking about ozone hole. Ozone hole I'll discuss separately. But because what Antarctica does, albedo effect, that means reflecting the sunlight back. So if there is no, the whole of Antarctica, if it is not white, if it is not covered with ice, so that temperature, those rays of the sun, they would be absorbed over there. So that is why the global warming would be to another extent. Ocean currents. The currents, the different ocean currents which lead to this, you see, whole of the life in the ocean life, that is because of the Antarctica. The jet streams, if you study, there are so many jet streams which go from, like, within the oceans, there are jet streams, cold streams or hot streams. If Antarctica is cut, suppose that their temperature increases, the streams would be gone. So whole of the climate would be gone. So that means if Antarctica is there, if Antarctica is healthy, life on Earth is healthy. If the Antarctica, if we disrupt the processes in Antarctica, other than Antarctic hole is something that if we do not mend Antarctic hole, none of us can survive anywhere on planet. Nowhere on planet. But other than the ozone hole, even if the Antarctica is disrupted, we cannot stay. So that means, I think that I convinced you that Antarctica indeed is a very special place for humanity. And that is why a lot has been said about Antarctica, that there are a few places in the world where there has never been war. Never been war. There is no other place on planet Earth where there has never been war. Where the environment is fully protected, because we, the nasty human beings, we didn't go there and we didn't inhabit there. So that's why the environment is fully protected. And where scientific research has priority. Everywhere else, politics has priority. In all 6 continents, politics has priority. But Antarctica is something which should be very dear to scientists, because their scientific research is priority. But there is a whole continent like this, it is Antarctica. It's a natural reserve devoted to peace and science. And in the background is a picture of the channels that we get in Antarctica. And remember, all these pictures are with analog camera, not with digital cameras. That means you only shoot and then wait, and when you come to the mainland, you come back to India, you develop those, only then you come to know what you have shown. So these are not digital pictures, these are analog pictures. So Antarctica definitely is a remarkable continent. It is remote. Of course, you see, going to Antarctica is a challenge in itself. It's remote, it is hostile. You are seeing 27 kilometers per hour. Minus 89 degrees Celsius. So it is very, very hostile, and it is uninhabited. But still, although it is remote, hostile, and uninhabited, it holds a key to our understanding how the world works. Jet streams, climate change, everything is because of this. For scientists, it is so energizing, it is so binding that it remains a place of intellectual challenge, and for a common man, it's simply a wilderness of pure beauty. And please also remember, when you see, if you Google, you will see, oh, trips to Antarctica, Antarctica tourism, right? And you will see beautiful pictures. But please remember, none of it is Antarctica. And none of it is Antarctica. I can say it with responsibility because I have been to Antarctica. Antarctica is after the Antarctic Circle. So the conditions completely change. All that Antarctic tourism is in the Antarctic Peninsula, which is not beyond Antarctic Circle. Of course, those are beautiful, but they are nowhere near Antarctica. So it's just another way to just, and those are very expensive. Oh, because they say, oh, those are 6 continents. But that is Antarctic Peninsula, not Antarctica. So Antarctic tourism has still not started. The real tourism to Antarctica has still not started. And if you ask me, I wish that at least the land tourism in Antarctica should not start. If someone wants to go, you should have an aerial survey, because this is something which is beyond beyond imagination. And we are we are known to, if you look at the Mount Everest, if you take a drone shot, what we have done to the Mount Everest, just a littering space. The litter is as bad as you see the litter in some of the areas of hill stations, just like even there. So being there, I believe that no, the land tourism in Antarctica should never start. It can be aerial tourism. You see, you watch, enjoy, whatever, but you should not go there. Because at least to our generations to come, for thousands and thousands of years, we can tell them this is what nature gave us, and this is what we have done to it, so that they have a motivation to just keep the other continents there. Okay. Now, I tried to convince you that Antarctica holds a key to our understanding. That means the survival is on Antarctica. But why do science in Antarctica? Because doing science in Antarctica is very, very expensive. Very, very expensive. In India, there is a special program of the President of India which allots money for this Antarctic expeditions. And when we went, I have no idea of today, the money spent on each and every member was close to 3 crore. On every member going to Antarctica, the money spent is close to 3 crore rupees. If you check about everything, like the training for about 6 months, and then the ship and all those logistics, the clothing is different. You cannot wear cotton over there. You cannot wear like the glasses like this where there is a metal, because you would have a metal bite. You cannot have any like watch which is having, or something, a jewelry like this. You can't have that. So it's a totally different game. So it is very, very expensive. So question is, why to do science in Antarctica, or why to study environmental impact in Antarctica? The main reason which every one of us can understand is that Antarctica is a natural time machine. It's a time machine. It's a time machine of climatic history. And it yields the clues to our planet's past, present, and future. When I say time machine, climatic history, now, if we have to study about the climates, then by studying the recorded history, that is the recorded observations about climate, how back we can go? We can go maximum 100 to 200 years. We cannot go back. But in Antarctica, we can go back to millions of years. So it's a time machine. Second thing is also very important, which I just mentioned. So for example, you see, if we have to determine the past climates, then 100 to 200 years we can go by the weather observations. So if we want to study what was the weather, say 5,000 years ago or 100,000 years ago, so that means we have to use indirect climate measures. For example, if we study the tree rings, we can study the past climates by about 1,000 plus years. If we study the trapped pollen, we can go back to about 10,000 plus years. If we study glacial ice cores, we can go back to 100,000 years, but nowadays we can go back to 800,000 years just by studying glacial ice cores. Ice cores means in Antarctica there is a continuous drilling. We drill the ice cores from there and glaciologists bring them back. And we have gone as deep as 3.4 kilometers. So we have all and you would be surprised that each layer of that core that holds the unique position of the climate, of the wind, of the pollens, of the pollution at that time. Sometimes it is even the 2 seasons of a year are also regulated in those cores. That is how it is a package. Then if we study ocean sediment cores, we can go to 1 million plus years, and by geology we can go 1 billion plus years. So we can say that it is a tape recorder of history. right? And I can explain to you in a very simple term if still I'm not able to explain. Then imagine that you have your some favorite legend, favorite lord, favorite god, whatsoever. I'm not. Suppose that you follow a favorite lord, say Lord Ram, Jesus Christ, whatsoever. And you say that, oh, I'm so devoted, I would like to drink the same glass of water which my favorite Lord drank. I want to drink the same water which Lord Ram drank. Nobody else in the world can give you the same water. But if you tell that, okay, my favorite Lord stayed on this planet Earth 5,125 years ago, then the glaciologist from Antarctica can give you precisely the same water which was on that planet Earth 5,125 years ago. So we can think about the tape recorder of history in that term. And background you see, this is the glacier, this is the tongue of the glacier close to our station. This is called tongue of the glacier. And if I'm not here, you won't have any idea about the dimensions. And now you can see the dimensions of the glaciers. Right? So that means I said Antarctic science is expensive, so we cannot go there to do something which we can do. So that means what qualifies for Antarctic science, for what you can go to undertake only that kind of science that cannot be done anywhere else, and make sure it contributes to solving a global problem. Like you are studying, let us say, the shift bases, that you say, oh, I'll try to study shift bases in Antarctica and would like to see that how different they behave. Well, you can't spend crores of rupees for that to go and spoil the Antarctic waters. So, only to do that kind of science that cannot be done on the other 6 planets. And if possible, make sure it contributes to solving global problems. And we have so many global problems. So many global problems. For example, you see, ozone hole is a global problem. Because, why it is a global problem? Because it has the potential to risk the entire life spectrum on our planet. And the picture you see, this is again a channel. And you can see now, you can see the perspective, how big are these channels. That is why we get a training of 6 months, that if you fall in such, and this is not a very deep one. We could go in, so that is not a very deep one. The deep ones can be very deep. So that is why we are trained by ITBP that, okay, if you fall, then how to come back, how to rescue your colleagues. But that gives you a perspective of the water. And this is definitely the